What is up, people of the internet? I am Tanner, or GD Tog. That lady to my right is Kaitlyn Stahl, or Love Plays Games, and she is my wonderful girlfriend. And welcome to the TalK. Cleverly named the TalK because my first name starts with T and her first name starts with K, and they're the first and last letters of the word. Kaitlyn, how are you today?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm really fucking tired because I just started school again, but I'm glad I could waste 30 minutes just talking about random shit.
Talking about games in general.
And
That's
games.
mostly what this whole thing
That's
is going
just
to be
random
based
shit,
around.
though.
Yeah, exactly. So we've been thinking about doing this for a long time, and it was just, I don't know if it was just that
3 months?
they were busy. No, more than 3. It was like October. It was almost around Halloween that we were thinking about this at the start. Whenever I made my Discord announcement about this, it was like, or no, my Twitter post, sorry. It was like October. So it's been a long time. It's not that we put this off, we just both lead pretty, well, I don't lead a very busy life, but Kaitlyn does, so finding a time to do this was something that happened,
Balancing school, choir, relationship, choir, and choir.
Yeah.
It's all been choir.
It's for the most part, it's been every day that we've had free that we wanted to do this, we've ended up being okay, today's been a long day, I just want to spend time with you instead of doing this. Today has been a pretty long day for me. I'm not sure about you, but I wanted to get this done really fucking badly since we've been pondering it and waiting on it for so long. Mm-hmm. So here we are. Graphic design is my passion. This overlay was completely made by me, and it looks fucking phenomenal, I'll say.
I mean, look at the girl peeking over there. I don't know how well I'm doing.
You're pointing at me. There you go. That's better.
Okay, there we go. So, girl peeking down there. His wife.
No, my wife is to my right. Wife. My wife is right there.
Oh.
I'm talking about
where
you.
Where the fuck is?
I'm talking about
where
you.
Where Dorothea is over here in Edelgard Wives. And then Dimitri's right here. My second boy's down there, and then Tanner, this asshole put my boy up here.
It makes sense. It makes sense,
but
no, I was going to originally just do the 3 house leaders, and then I was like, well, that's not fair that your favorite character is on the screen and mine isn't, so yeah. Dorothy is peeking down there. Shout out to Allegra Clark. I love you, Allegra. She was, I've been noticed by multiple voice actors, multiple.
Yeah, I know. I've been.
Not to flex on you or anything, but that's a thing.
I wanted to go to Anime Impulse so bad because do you realize how many 3 Houses voice actors are going to that?
Yeah, well, because they've all done stuff with Anime Impulse already.
Not Ben Lepley.
Well, except with Ben Lepley, but Ben Lepley replied to my tweet completely. Just out of nowhere, I didn't even tag him.
I don't know how that happened.
I didn't. I know. Same thing with Xanth. I'm gonna butcher her last name, so I'm not gonna bother even saying it. I don't know if it's Hyun or Hun or Hun, but the voice of Marianne in Fire Emblem 3 Houses, she did it. She liked my stuff too without me even doing anything. So that was pretty cool. Anyways, so yeah. Sorry, continue. I'll let you speak.
But yeah, no, recently, did you watch Allegra's interview?
I watched a little bit of it, yes.
Yeah, so at the end she was talking about why she was voice acting so to inspire people, blah 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 blah, and then that really moved me because I was going because this past week is yeah. So when she said that, I tagged her and I went on a 2 or 3 tweet burp, and then she replied and liked all of it, and I was just I love you. I can't do this anymore.
She's a swell human being for sure.
She's a swell.
I looked down at the stopwatch and saw 4:20. That's a sign. So yeah, that's basically what this whole thing is about. We're probably gonna talk about games. We're gonna talk about a little bit of everything. Mostly, I'd like to keep this mostly, gaming related, but obviously there are some things that are gonna come up that are probably big topics of conversation that will eventually bleed their way into this as well, but for now we're sticking mostly around gaming, and this is quite perfect timing because this is the start of a new decade, so we have an entire 10-year time span. Yeah, give it up everyone, it's 2020.
Give it up for 2020.
It's 2020. We're already off to a great
I'm graduating this year. Oh
god. Yeah, but you have like the sickest grad class year ever.
That is the sickest, dude.
Like,
that's why there's so many children that were born in 2002.
That's like 2018 was like the worst. Like 2018 sucks. It's 4 different numbers. There's nothing cool about that ever at all.
And I'm over here like 2020, like.
2020 is 2020 is sick. Anyways, okay, so what I wanted to open this with is like what's going on this week, but at the same time, it's like this week we can't really predict what who's going to announce anything, if anything's going to change. But there is a Pokemon Direct tomorrow, so that's kind of cool. Obviously, I mean the outrage on Twitter about this has been fucking hilarious so far, because there are just all of these keyboard warriors who are like, you can't release an unfinished game and then make an announcement about something like this soon after. But it's like, what if it just has absolutely nothing to do with Sword and Shield?
So, yeah,
like what if it's Pokemon Home, Pokemon Sleep,
Pokemon Home,
all that good shit.
I mean, they could talk about Sword and Shield, like maybe like new raid events.
New raid events.
They did that with Snorlax and Magikarp, but
but here's the thing with that is that the other thing is, like, the Pokemon Company have pushed Game Freak to their absolute limits with Sword and Shield, and that's why it's such an underdeveloped game. That's why they weren't given the time to make that game a masterpiece.
You should delay it by like a year.
Don't give it... Yeah, oh, absolutely. I agree. But that's never going to happen. The Pokemon Company will not allow that to happen because it's a yearly thing. They're pumping out a game every year. And the fans just don't realize, I feel like sometimes, that it's not always the developer's fault for making the game look the way it is. It's the higher-ups and how they force out... Yeah, exactly. It's how they force out content. And that was the biggest thing with Pokemon Sword and Shield for me. Like, don't get me wrong, I love those games. Like, I've had a lot of fun playing them. But I
had more enjoyment out of Sword and Shield than I did Sun and Moon, personally.
I am able to... Now, that's not true for me, because
I
feel
fine,
like...
then Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon, I had more fun with Sword and Shield.
Yeah, Sun and Moon... Yeah, Sun and Moon sucked, okay? So Sun and Moon was terrible. Sun and Moon was not good. But, like, I would say Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon are what Sun and Moon should have been, basically.
Yeah.
If I'm being honest. I just love, like... That's the one thing about Gen 7, is that Gen 7 had a decent story. I liked the story arc in Gen 7. In Gen 8, it feels like we're going back to Gen 1, 2, 3, where it's very linear. And... Because, like, I love... That's the reason why I really, really like Gen 4. Like, the original Diamond and Pearl Gen 4. Because you could choose, like, what order you wanted to do the Veilstone, Hearthome, and the fucking Pastoria. Those 3 gyms you could choose to do in whatever fucking order you wanted, which was really cool. I like the idea of being able to take a path and go like your own way, whereas like in Sun and Moon, or in Sun and Moon, I guess Sun and Moon's pretty linear too, but like Sword and Shield is literally like as linear as it gets. Besides the wild area.
I was about to say the wild area is like...
The wild area is like probably the coolest thing about Sun and Moon.
You know what isn't linear though? You know what isn't linear? Leon's Way of Direction.
Yes.
Fucking...
The guy has no sense of direction.
Like, I saw a tweet where it's just all like, oh, I'll see you at this location, and he runs in the opposite direction of that location.
Yeah.
And you wouldn't notice that otherwise. It's just like small details like that makes me appreciate like Sword and Shield more.
Yeah.
Like,
exactly.
Like Hop's battle where he doesn't have his fucking Lulu. Like that's like I didn't even notice that my first.
Oh, you mean the one in Stone Side?
Yeah,
After
and I was like, Yeah, and I was all like, oh, when did he get a Toxel? It's all like because he got rid of his Wooloo.
Yeah, exactly.
And like, yeah, I didn't realize that until like I saw it on Twitter again, and I was just like, oh wait, this kid's been going through some stuff.
Yeah. So that's like, there are some things about Sword and Shield that I love, some things that I don't like. Like, that's just the way I am with like almost every game though. So, but Sword and Shield, I am stand-up person enough to admit I'm not going to defend the fact that it's... Like, I'm not going to say it's not rushed, because it was rushed. Yeah. And the story is unfinished.
And what I find really redundant is that the same people that are like, oh, Sword and Shield sucks, expect a Sinnoh remake, possibly a Sinnoh remake release this year. And I'm like, no, that's not... Do you want them to ruin Gen 4? Then don't push that on them.
Here's the thing.
I don't think it's gonna happen.
Here's the thing with Sinnoh is, like, if they remade Sinnoh and kept the same Pokemon that were in Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum, all you really have to worry about structurally is just rebuilding the actual region itself in a different engine. And, I mean, we've seen that, like, you know, like, Mount Coronet and stuff, and the snowy routes and stuff. Like, you look at the blizzards that appear in the wild area, that's all you need to do. You just need to plaster that animation over it. And I know people are going to be like, oh, it's reusing animations, like, oh, it's lazy. But, like, honestly, to appease fans of, like, Gen 4, I feel like Gen 4 fans have been waiting for something for so long that, like, at this point, they probably won't give a shit as long as it's just, you know, remastered music.
Yeah.
You know, remastered cutscenes, all that good stuff. You give them that, that's about all they need. Because, like...
Honestly, I just want to see certain characters in 3D. That's all I really care about.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I agree. I agree with that entirely. And maybe just give characters, like, a little bit more depth. Like, the gym leaders and stuff. Give them a little bit more depth. That's about all you can really do.
Someone made a tweet where it's all like, they thought that Gen 4 was perfect the way it is, so they're remaking Gen 5 instead. and then all the Gen 5, like us Gen 5 fans, like, as jokes, were like, yeah, fuck Gen 4, and then all the Gen 4 stands were like, fuck you just say? Like, and we're like, we were joking. You can like Gen 4, we were just joking. Yeah. I don't... Huh.
So, goodness gracious. This month is pretty quiet from what I can tell in terms of games and stuff.
There's only two that are in my head right now.
We've got there's the new Dragon Ball Z game that's coming out, but I know I'm not going to play that because I was never a fan of that. But you've got the one that I'm super excited about is Tokyo Mirage Sessions. Yeah. That one's I'm really excited about. The Kingdom Hearts DLC comes out this month too, so that's a thing.
That's the one I'm excited about.
Yeah, and there's another one that I can't remember off the top of my head. Yeah, I can't remember off the top of my head, but yeah, those two are the big things for us, I feel. But like, Tokyo Mirage Sessions is probably the biggest one coming up this month. In terms
for us, by the way.
Yeah.
Like, not just in general. But
No, not in general. Yeah, we're speaking.
No,
we're speaking
there's not a lot of people excited about that game.
Yeah, no. I never got to play the original Tokyo Mirage Sessions.
He did not own a Wii U. He wasn't as privileged as me. He didn't own a Wii U.
Privileged. That's the debatable. That's a debatable statement right there. If I've ever heard one. Yeah, no, I didn't get to play it. I briefly watched Kaitlyn play it a little bit.
I tried replaying it, but I couldn't get too into it. So.
Yeah. But like I've been so like interested in it for a while. And I remember when the Nintendo Direct happened and they said that they were like remastering it. I remember I was so excited because I literally told Kaitlyn like 2 weeks before that Direct happened. It was so weird that they actually ended up announcing a port. It's not just a port either. It's a remake.
It's a remake.
Like they did add stuff into the game, which is really cool. But I was so excited because like 2 weeks before that Nintendo Direct, I literally told Kaitlyn, I was like, listen, if they remake this game, if they remake this game or port it to Switch, I was like, I'll be buying it instantly. And sure enough, 2 weeks later in the Nintendo Direct, they announced it. We were both
like, oh shit, wait, hold on, no way.
Start flipping our shit. Yeah, no, it was super exciting. So as soon as that Nintendo Direct was over, I was like, hop on the Nintendo eShop, pre-order that shit. It's been sitting on my Switch for 3 months
Ever
now.
since the pre-order came
Yeah,
out.
like 3 months. It's 3 months now. So, and that's coming out. I don't remember what the date is. The
17th.
Is it the
It's some Friday.
I thought it was like the 14th or the 18th. I wanted to say one of those
17th.
two. The 17th.
Because
okay.
Nintendo games come out on Fridays.
Yeah. Gotcha. Yeah. So that's exciting. So that's wow. That's almost like a week. That's kind of fucking crazy. I'm gonna be playing that soon. That's cool. I'm excited for that. Yeah. So that's probably the number one thing for me this month. Now, obviously, I don't play Kingdom Hearts, so like, I don't really know very much about the game. I'm not and I know. I can hear someone who's watching this booing me right now for not knowing anything about Kingdom Hearts.
There's an absolute steal on the PlayStation Store. Like, I know you're not into Disney, like you're not into like the whole my friends are my power bullcrap, but the entire series except Kingdom Hearts 3 is $30 on PS4 right now.
Yeah, I can't. I mean, here's the thing.
Like,
if
I paid $100. I paid $100 and now it's $30, and I'm angry.
If I had space on my PlayStation,
true. Yeah, you don't have space for all those games.
I might contemplate it, but like, I have no room at all to fit that in.
Because, in all honesty, it's a good game. Like, yeah, it's a little bit ridiculous, but that's the point.
Yeah, I get that.
And the DLC, basically, this DLC, I'm going to try to explain it as best as I can, because Kingdom Hearts is a hard game to explain.
Yeah, yeah.
From what you've heard, it's hard to explain. But basically, something happened at the end of Kingdom Hearts 3, which I cried about, because I was upset how stupid it was. So basically, it's either a continuation, or it's during the events of the end of Kingdom Hearts 3.
Yeah.
Which basically should end, like, theories and, like, all this stuff that we were thinking about the ending of Kingdom Hearts 3, which, I hope it does. Because, honestly, they have a fun little thing where they're like, oh, you think it ended this way, but we're going to have a secret ending and make you think about it again. And then I'm just like, why are you like this? But yeah, you get to play as 3 characters. One of them you can play, 2 of them you could play before, and then one of them you can never play her before, and so everyone's freaking out about it.
Yeah.
Which is Kairi. Like, and many people have pointed out how, like, she was useless in past games, which I personally agree. Like, this entire past game has been about her wanting to wield a Keyblade and, like protect the main character, Sora. And then she never did. We started to defeat, like, one Heartless, and that was it, and then, yeah. And so I'm just happy that you can play her and, like...
Yeah, that's always a cool thing
and
in
like,
games.
And, like, actually, like, have her do something instead of being just sitting there being a damsel in distress, which...
Yeah, I feel like that's the way with a lot of games where you'll have a character who's kind of just a nobody who does nothing. I mean, they're there for the story and they're there the entire game, but you feel like there's just like something missing and they're not doing anything. And then out of fucking nowhere, the game company will announce like, hey, this character's going to be playable in the next game. Here's what they're going to do, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And everyone's just like goes into a frenzy about it. Like, oh my God, they're going to be playable. They're not going to be useless anymore. Like, super excited about it. So I totally get that. Yeah,
there's 4 females in Kingdom Hearts, and I could say safely, like, I don't know if people will agree with me, but like, there's 4 females in Kingdom Hearts that like main females in Kingdom Hearts, and only one of those should be a damsel in distress, which she kind of is, but she's still like powerful in her own right, and Kairi was the only one that was like, she could be a little bit better, but like, hopefully the DLC fixes it. That's all. That's my only worry right now.
Yeah. So after touching on the 2 things we're most excited about for the month, we're going to go into what we've been playing in like the past month. What game do you think you have touched the most in the past month? And it doesn't have to be a game that is like newer or that you've just started playing. It can literally be anything. And the first thing that I think of is, I mean, I picked up Star Wars Battlefront 2, and I've been really enjoying that, on the one for the PS4, obviously. And Tetris Effect as well, I picked up for the PS4, and I mean, I've been playing. That game is so immersive. Like, if I ever need to, like, seriously de-stress, I boot up that game, literally just play Tetris for a while, and it calms me the fuck down. Like, literally, I can't, like, even stress enough how much, like, I used to think Tetris was a stupid game, like BB blocks, like you're building with blocks, like what am I, 5?
Oh, the blocks disappear when you
and
clear
then
a line.
and then Tetris 99 happened, and I was like, I'll give it a chance, and now I'm just Tetris.
And now
is
you
like
love Tetris.
Tetris is like my favorite puzzle game now. That's just the way it is. That's the way. I mean, Puyo Puyo will always have a very, very special place in my heart because of Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine, and because my dad had that for the Sega Genesis when I was younger. And I mean, I would play that briefly, and I was really fucking bad at it when I was young. But it was like just one of those like prompted childhood memories that like is always stuck with me. Like that game, and like now I could go and play Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine on the hardest difficulty and wipe the fucking floor because I'm smart. Because I have an IQ higher than 5. My brain is no longer the size of a peanut. I can actually understand, and I've been playing games for a lot longer now.
Like, I have an IQ higher than 5 and I can't play it.
that was like a long time ago. But yeah, no, Tetris has evolved into one of my favorite like pastimes in general. Not just Tetris 99 either. Like Tetris Effect has been is awesome. Right now it's on sale. It's very expensive. I don't think it's worth its original price. It's like $56 originally. I don't think it's worth
Canadian?
that much. Yeah, Canadian.
So it's like 40 for.
Yeah, I don't think it's worth
US.
that. I don't think it's worth
That's
that much money. But it was on sale, and I got it for $32, and I was like, all right, like I mean, there was no other time that I was really gonna pick it up if I had it. So I was like, listen, I got money for Christmas. I'm just gonna pick it up now. Like, might as well. And I'm glad I did because it is a good game, and there definitely is like a good replay value into it too. It's definitely a new take on Tetris, and that's coming from someone who hasn't used the PlayStation VR at all. And there's VR support for that game, but I've never touched a VR headset for PlayStation in my life. I've done like Oculus Rift and stuff. I've done that. All the all of the PC stuff I have done. Like I've done VR for PC, that stuff, at friends' places. I've never owned one myself, but like at friends' places I've done it before. And that stuff's really fun. Like some of the games are really enjoyable. Like for VR, but I've never had it for PlayStation. But other than those two games, I mean, the only other game I can really think of that I played a lot of lately is Groove Coaster, because that's been,
me too.
I've been having a lot of fun with that on
like I didn't even know it
Switch.
came out. Like I had, when they announced it, I like for the Japanese store, I was fully like, oh my gosh, I need to get a Japanese account. I need to get it. I want to play it so bad.
Yeah.
And then I didn't even know it was going to get a localization. I didn't even know it released. Yeah. And Tanner was just like, oh, Groove Coaster for Switch. I was like, excuse me?
Yeah, I was just scrolling down the eShop like a few nights before Christmas, and that just happened. And I was like, wait a minute, what?
I was like, Groove Coaster for Switch. I was like, excuse me? That came out? It's an English release? And I started freaking out. And then I was like, okay, I need it for Christmas. And then I got it for Christmas.
It was awesome. Yeah. I'm very glad I picked up that game because I've been having fun with it. And then on top of that, I mean, this is super late, and I'm super late to the party, but I put that game off for so long, and I would play it for like 2-week time spans and then forget about it for 6 months. But I'm fucking glad that I finally finished Breath of the Wild.
Yeah.
Because that was
pushed it on him.
That was a very worth it thing to finish.
Especially after the sequel was announced.
Yeah, well now that I know.
Was it E3 or was it the last Direct?
No, it was during a Direct. It was a couple Directs ago now, actually.
It was yeah. Well, ever since they announced the sequel, I was like, Tanner, you need to finish it. You need to finish it. And then he was all like, yeah, I'll get to it. And then he never got to it until recently.
I'm thinking about downloading or getting the DLC soon too. I'm gonna probably go back to that game.
Champions Gal DLC is really good.
And mess around with the shrines and stuff, and see if I can find some more Korok seeds. You know, get the collector's items and all that good stuff. Mm-hmm. But yeah, besides that, I'm basically done with that game now that I finished the main story.
Yeah, I'm actually thinking about replaying it myself with like a different account because I just miss that game a lot.
Yeah,
like starting from scratch and going all through the motions.
Yeah.
Because I actually tried 100%ing it, and it takes a lot of work because I was like, oh, you need to get all the weapons. You have to have them all in your Sheikah slate. You have to have all the armor. Blah blah blah. And I forgot that Korok seeds existed, and then I was like, oh.
Some of the Korok seeds are ridiculous, like ridiculously difficult to get.
And you don't get anything for getting all the Korok seeds. You just get
extra inventory slots.
What? Yeah, but what's his name? What's his name again?
Oh, I don't remember his name.
Whatever. Big dude with Morocco Man. He gives you his turd. And that's what you get if you get all the Korok seeds. You get his little shit, and I'm just like, no! I felt more redemption completing all the shrines, because you get Link's original green outfit.
Yeah.
That's more redeeming than a literal shit.
Yeah.
A literal golden shit.
So yeah. So Breath of the Wild is good because it kind of falls into the same category as the whole our favorite games of the decade and whatnot. Mm-hmm. Because I'd throw Breath of the Wild into the conversation there for sure. Now, if this is so hard. Picking, like, a genuine favorite game for the whole decade is really almost impossible for me. But, like, I feel like the best bets, like, the best argument that I could press for, like, my three favorite, like, if they were to have a duke it out, like, Battle Royale-esque kind of thing for that category. I mean, and there is some recency bias with the first two because they are newer in the decade, but there is one that falls like a ways back. But I would say Persona 5 makes a very, very strong statement for me. And then, of course, Fire Emblem Three Houses, just because it's...
Look at the layout.
It's literally played such an influence. And you know what? I think I know what my... The other one I was going to say is Undertale, because Undertale was awesome.
Yeah.
But I think I know what my favorite game of the decade is. And I spent so much time playing it, and it's an unconscious decision that I could probably make off the top of my head now, and that's Celeste. Like, I love that game. Like, I know that nothing is ever going to come from it again.
But once you push past the gameplay and everything, the story's amazing, the characters, like, as little as you see them are amazing.
And me being a speedrunner, obviously, whenever I first played through that game casually, I was like, this is going to be a fucking whack speed game. Like, this is going to be a really fucking good speed game. And sure enough, it's arguably, in my opinion, one of the highest skill-capped speed games out there, just because of how difficult it is to do all of that as quickly as Vlad does it, as quickly as M-Sushi does it, as quickly as Tej does it. Like, it's crazy to watch those players play that fucking game, because it's like, how do you do that? Like, I know that I play the game. I mean, I know a casual player would look at me and be like, what the fuck? How does he do that? But, like, I look at those players and I'm like, what the fuck? How do they do that? So, like, that in and of itself should tell you how high the skill cap is for that game. It's actually, like, incredible. It's incredible. But yeah, Celeste has a great story. It targets, like, a very, very, like, important audience. It caters to a very important group of people who don't get their voices out there enough because of that. But, like, I feel like a lot of people were led to speak out about their problems because of Celeste, which is awesome, because it's very, very rare that a game can actually target a mental illness and do it properly. Like, there are some times where games will work around mental illness topics, but never really delve into the dark, like, actually hard parts. And I mean, Celeste doesn't get dark, but it gets to that point where it's like you can understand how hard it is to deal with those things on a daily basis. And, like, if a game can do that, then it's at least an 8 for me. But Celeste is a 10. Like, awesome gameplay, awesome mechanics, very fun to play fast, replay value, great story, rememberable characters, like, all of that in and of itself flattens out probably my favorite game of the decade. And I didn't even think of that. That was one that was, like, locked away in the back of my head that I did not even press an argument for when I was talking to people earlier about it. So that one just snuck its way in. But I think it would be probably my favorite game of the decade.
Yeah, it's definitely up there for me too. It's just because, like, the way it tackles mental illness, it helped me, like, realize that I wasn't completely alone. Like, it kind of helped me cope with, you know, with who I am, because, like, I related to Madeline so much when I went through it blindly. I haven't even heard of Celeste until Tanner was like, "Oh yeah, I'm checking out this game called Celeste," and then like he started playing it like in call, and I would watch him, go through like blind or nearly blind.
Yeah,
and
no,
then
it was blind at the time.
It was blind, yeah. And then I remember, I still think the scene that mostly speaks to me in that game is in chapter 4. The end of chapter 4 when Madeline has her panic attack in the
Yep. The whole thing.
Because I have panic attacks all the time, and like, it's just seeing that put into a game is like extremely rare. Because like no one knows what that's like. Like unless you've had one, you don't know what it's like.
Yeah.
And the stuff with the feather really helps. Having someone there to comfort you really helps, and like, it's just like little details like that which made me like realize like, holy crap.
Yeah.
This game is really like relating to me, and I really appreciate that they really, I have arguments for it.
I mean, but, like, I think we get what you're trying to say. Yeah. Though. Like,
it also helped me come to terms with like who I am as a person, because I have autism, and I know like Madeline doesn't, but like it's still like it helped me like with my mental illness, my mental disability, like making me realize like embracing my mental illness. Like, yeah, I have depression, but like I have depression, I have anxiety, I have panic attacks, I have autism, but like I'm not gonna let any of that like just stop me from doing what I want to do.
Exactly.
Because
that's the way it should be.
And in fact, I think that's what like when I like so when I see like Celeste Mountain, that's why I think it is. It's just like that final push to get you to where you want to be happiest. So.
Exactly.
I just love Celeste so much.
That's the whole moral of
the whole moral
of that game.
Yeah.
Is becoming, at peace with yourself and, befriending your demons and eventually overcoming anything that life throws at you. Because even though Madeline and her, like, the part of herself, we call her Madeline because that's just what the speedrunning community labels her. And I feel like that's what the entire Celeste community has labeled her at this point.
Yeah.
But when they come together, even though everything is all said and done, I mean, like, she still has those problems. And she still, like, isn't perfect. And she's never going to be perfect. And that's probably the best thing about the game, is that at the end, even though her and Madeline come together and are able to tackle so much more, she still has her flaws, and she still has her problems, and all that good stuff. And I feel like the Farewell DLC definitely like made a very good structure for that as well. I
cried at the ending.
It was really good. So really good, but also really tough for a rusty Tanner that broke his controller over that. So that happened. That was a dark time. We don't want to talk about that. That was just a bad night for me to be playing it. A bad night for it to come out. It was just.
He ran the game when he came over into Cali.
Yeah, I did. I did.
Yeah, you did.
Well, yeah, I did the whole thing, didn't I?
No, you did the whole thing, yeah.
It was bad because I was playing on a TV that had like a full second of like input delay, but that's fine. I tried my best to explain everything to as good as I could, and I feel like I did a pretty good job.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that was cool. But yeah, I mean, other than Celeste, I mean, the only three that really make a good argument for me are Undertale, Three Houses, and Persona 3. Or Persona 3, Jesus, Persona 5. Persona 3 is a great story. Terrible gameplay. Terrible gameplay.
Terrible.
Oh my
tables.
God.
Tables.
It's bad.
But for me, Three Houses, Fire Emblem in general, except Fates, was for past... Awakening, Echoes, and Three Houses were definitely good. I really enjoyed Echoes.
I would take Echoes, I'd take Echoes and Three Houses as they'd probably both crack my top 10, but Awakening would probably be a top 20 for me. I don't feel like it makes it that high on my list, but that's just because,
Persona 4 Golden, because that came out in 2012, so that counts.
Mm-hmm.
But I think one of the I'm gonna look it up just to be sure. I don't remember exactly when it came out. I'm gonna make sure it did come out this decade. Hang on.
Everyone, bear with.
It came out in 2011. We're good. Portal 2. Now, this is completely random, but it was one of my first ever... Okay, so the kind of autism I have hyperfixations. And that Portal was my hyperfixation for 1 to 2 years. And it's random, but I just love like the whole idea behind it. And I love like the secret stories that were hidden within it. And it's just my comfort game now at this point, to where I like rewatch videos of people playing it sometimes. I replay it myself sometimes. I one time begged my dad to play the co-op with me one time. Because I was just all like, I want to play this with somebody. It's just my comfort game because it's hilarious. It's just a really, really, it's not underrated, obviously, because it's well received.
I was gonna say it's been well received by a lot of people. Yeah, it's not unpopular or anything.
But no, I just really enjoy it. It's really my comfort game. Like, it's just my comfort game. So
yeah.
that's that, like your comfort game will always be one of your favorite games.
And then of course, another thing I failed to mention is like, I actually, you know what? I need to make sure that this game was also released.
See, that's the problem, because I was like, did Portal 2 come out in 2013 or 14? I looked it up, 2011. I'm like, okay, I'm old.
It was not. It was not this decade. I'm glad I didn't say that. Pokemon Heart Gold came out in 2009.
Oh, it's so close.
It was not. But Black and White were. Black and White were good games. But I still like. I mean, my favorite Pokemon game is Heart Gold, which.
He's a Johto Kinney.
Easy. I just like Gen 4 so much, like, overall. Both the Sinnoh games and the Gen 2 remakes. But, yeah. I mean, other than that, the only other game, we can really talk about that we both really, really enjoy is, like, Three Houses. And, I mean, I guess Persona, but Three Houses is very recency bias for us, because it's the newest Fire Emblem game. However, in my opinion, it does suffer from bad writing at points, but it can't be much worse.
Mostly with her route.
Anything else?
Whatever she is.
You were pointing at her. You were pointing at her.
Like, right here.
You got no. That's me, silly goose. Like, yeah. Yes.
Wherever Edelgard is, her entire route is just
a mess. But that's because the game got pushed to release at a specific time, and they didn't get a time to finish her route. And like. Yeah. That's the other problem.
And Silver Snow, I don't want to. I keep saying this over and over again, but Silver Snow and Verdant Wind are pretty much the same thing.
They are, yeah.
They are. I don't blame them because, like, yeah, but like I feel like Silver Snow should have been the Verdant Wind round, and Verdant Wind should have been something completely different.
True.
That's just my opinion, though.
True. Can you imagine how fucking incredible the Silver Snow route would have been if we got both the Nemesis fight and the Rhea fight?
Yeah, no, that's how it should have been. And then Verdant Wind could have been entirely focused on like Claude's backstory.
Yeah.
But no, don't even.
But then, what would your argument be for like a final map on Claude's route? Something involving those who slither in the dark.
Like either those who slither in the dark or like an Elmyrans thing. I don't know. Like it's just. Like, yeah, but like Nemesis doesn't make that much sense either. Like, if you really think about it.
Like, this is something that
However, it did give Claude one of his best lines ever.
Sure, but yeah, no, I've been saying this since I played through the route. Like, in Verdant Wind, the final map is satisfying. Yes. Mm-hmm. But it makes
incredibly satisfying, but it
no
doesn't make
fucking sense at all. Why does he show up?
We tell us, oh no, Nemesis is here. What the fuck?
Yeah, like what?
That's how it.
It makes no sense. It really doesn't. And Silver Snow was my first route, and to me, that always feels like the most canon ending, just because of the fact of Byleth and Rhea and the past that they share, and all that good stuff, and how poetic it is that. You know, Rhea dies in Byleth's arms, and then Byleth succeeds her as the Archbishop kind of thing. I always felt like that was really, like, the most canon, for Byleth, the most canon ending. However, you look at, like...
For everyone else, I definitely say Blue Lions.
Azure Moon and... Yeah. Azure Moon and... Azure Moon is probably the best... No, not probably. It's 100% the best path in the game. 100%. And, like, after playing it, I really didn't appreciate it as much as I should have when I was playing through it. I kind of slept on it a little bit because I was like, I'm not a big fan of all the students in the Blue Lines, which I am now. I wasn't at the time.
Oh yeah, no, I love them now.
And here's the thing about the Golden Deer too, is like the only reason I really played Golden Deer second, and you're gonna love me for this, is because of you. Because you were like pressing me to play it, and I was like, okay, I guess I will. I like Claude, and I hate like everyone else in the house, but it's fine.
And then you fall in love with like Marianne and Hilda.
Yeah,
and
well, all the
Ignatz,
girls, all the girls.
Like, all the girls are great.
And
yeah,
then the guy,
and then like Ignatz and.
I mean, I like
Ignatz.
Ignatz. I like
And
Ignatz
Claude.
now, but like
Obviously.
I've always hated Raphael and Lorenz, and I always probably will hate them both. I mean, I can find a little bit of due respect for Lorenz, but Raphael is just comedic relief, and I hate characters like that in games because it's just like they're based on one strict feature, and they don't really have too much emphasis on backstory.
Yeah.
Sure, Raphael has a thing with his parents, or with him, and
Sister.
Ignatz's parents, and he's got his sister, but it's all just sister
just
eat
food.
train. Sister
Yeah.
eat train, sister eat train. I gotta eat more and grow big muscles to defend my sister. That's his whole character arc, right there. That's it. That's all he's got. At least Ignatz has, like, he wants to be a painter, but, like, his parents won't let him because they want him to be a traveling merchant, because that's the way it was, so he enlisted himself in Garrick Mach to become a knight, so he could try to prevent that from happening, so he could do something valiant and bring in some more money kind of thing. And then, I mean, Lorenz is Lorenz, I guess. We'll leave it at that. But yeah, I fell in love with Lysithea. I mean, I liked Lysithea from the start, to be fair. I recruited her in my Silver Snow playthrough and had her through the entire, I mean, all I need to really say is just her magic stat is just dumb.
Dark Spikes T.
Yeah, Dark Spikes T too. Yeah, you can't forget that. But yeah, I really ended up liking Lysithea. I really ended up liking, like, Hilda. I mean, Hilda's one of my favorite characters in the game. Just because of... God, it's hard to explain.
It's just what she does and why she does it.
Girl hot.
Girl hot.
Her time skip is something else. But yeah, no, I really liked her, and I mean, I came to like Marianne too. You know who we like literally didn't talk about at all is Leonie. She fell off the face of the earth because no one cares about her because she wants to have an affair. I was gonna say she wants to have an affair with our father, so that's something.
And we're gonna preface this. We know there's much more to her character.
Oh yeah,
but we haven't done any of her support. Like a lot of supports, we don't remember many of her supports, so that's all we focus on. And honestly, that's just also bad writing on Intelligence's part. They shouldn't have made Leonie so horny on Gerald.
Yeah, it's kind of it was odd. But I mean, at the same time, I can kind of respect it, like because Gerald showed up in her village, protected them from bandits. Gerald stuck around for a while. Leonie was like, "I want to be like you." Whenever she was little, right? And Gerald was like, "All right." And they trained together. Like, can you imagine, like, a younger Gerald training a little tiny Leonie? Just, she's, like, swinging a lance around. Like, that's adorable. That's adorable, right? And, like, after Gerald leaves, Leonie starts training by herself. And keeps training, and keeps training, and keeps training. Because she wants to be like Gerald. She idolizes him. Because he saved her life. Like, honestly, that's basically what happened. So, at the same time as making fun of it, you can respect it in its own regard too, because like I understand not everything she says shouldn't be about him, and every time she talks to Byleth it shouldn't always go back to Gerald, but like at the same time I can understand why she's so like.
The only thing about Leonie that I wish they would fix, which they won't, is just the god awful timing of her B support.
Yeah, really.
That's god awful.
Yeah, it's bad.
It happens right after. Like, if it happened before Gerald died, that's an entirely different story. But it happened right after he dies.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert. Oh no.
Oh, this game's been out for.
You've been given 7 months.
That's hilarious, by the way. Actually, I saw a post today about a death in Evangelion.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and someone was like, "Oh, thank you for spoiling this thing I haven't seen yet." And literally, it was like, this series has been out for 30 fucking years. Like, shut the fuck up.
It's also like people spoiling Final Fantasy VII, and you're like, I wonder how this scene's gonna play out in the remake, and everyone's like, stop spoiling Final Fantasy VII. It's like, It's been out.
It's been out.
For
Like
years.
it happened a long time ago. Like seriously. But yeah.
Like everyone knows that she dies in Final Fantasy VII because it's iconic. I know she's gonna die. Yeah. I'm still gonna play the remake if I ever get the chance to.
Oh, I definitely will play the remake too. We said we were going to go for 30 minutes, and it's been 45, so we've gone completely off on a tangent. But I feel like that's really it. That's all we really had to talk about was the games that we're playing, our favorite games of the decade, kind of just recapping last year overall, too, and how much fun we had playing games. But, like, the next time we come back, probably, I want to say we're going to do this, every, 3 weeks to a month?
Yeah, maybe.
Around that? What do you mean, yeah, maybe?
Maybe.
You're like,
whatever you want to do it.
I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this.
He's holding me, guys. He's holding me hostage. I can't do this anymore.
Yeah, but yeah, no. Every 3 weeks or a month or so, probably this'll go down. But yeah, I mean that's about everything I really want to talk about, besides actual current events that are happening in the world, which don't really need to be touched on right now because I think
he's going to Coachella.
Everyone,
no one's getting drafted to anything. Hatsune Miku's going to Coachella.
Yeah, there you go. So yeah, I mean that's about it. I feel like this has probably gone on long enough. This is going to be a hefty upload to begin with, now that it's as long as it is. But yeah, this has been nice. I mean, I am really happy that this ended up the way that it ended up, and that you know, I didn't completely botch the intro or anything like I said I was going to. We actually got through it in one take, so that's good. Now that I was planning on doing 2 takes, because I mean, for shows like this, you can't really do that anyways. But to anyone watching, if there's anything you'd like us to touch on the next time we do this, let us know. I mean, give us all kinds of feedback. Was it a dull show? Let us know. Did you enjoy the show? Let us know.
Do you just hate us?
Let us know.
Let us know.
Let us know.
And then we'll die. No, we won't die. We can't. We won't die. You'll just ignore us.
Yeah, and never watch
just
another one.
Just ignore us.
But anyways, I'm gonna post this. I mean, probably tomorrow morning. I'll premiere it tomorrow morning or tomorrow afternoon, maybe. By that time, the Pokemon Direct will already have happened, so I apologize for not having anything on that. But we'll probably touch on that.
Follow our Twitters, and then you'll know exactly how we feel.
Exactly.
Over here.
They're right beneath us. Our Twitters and Twitch. Drop us follows if you enjoy the personalities on the show. I definitely plan on having. I definitely plan on having other people on here as well. Yeah. At some point, you know, whether it be just for small periods of time. Like I want to get. I mean, you guys would probably know him as EBND, but Nerf Master 119. I want to have him on the show whenever some more Smash news comes out because he's a huge Smash player, plays it competitively. Actually, just got on the Delaware PT.
Yeah.
He's 10th place on the Delaware PT, which is absolutely incredible. Like huge shoutouts, or the PR, sorry. He's on the Delaware PR, which is amazing.
Yeah.
That's absolutely amazing. Like huge shoutouts to my guy. Like absolute legend. And then I want to have other friends on here. Like we've got a couple of friends who are heavy into Fire Emblem. So when Wave 4 comes out or comes about, we get news about that stuff. We'll probably have them on the show too to talk about.
They're gonna drop it at like 8 p.m. or something ridiculous. We're gonna be like, we're gonna be like scrambling because they never tell us.
Wave 3, yeah. Wave 3 or Wave 2, sorry, it was like out of
nowhere.
Yeah,
funny story before we go. Wave 3 released out of nowhere. And because I just went onto Twitter one day, and all of a sudden, I see cats being interacted with, and I'm like, wait, did it come out? And I go onto Nintendo of America, I'm like, it came out!
So we were losing our minds about that. But as my girlfriend gets her food, there's no better time to end this. Thank y'all for watching. Yeah, thank y'all for watching. Again, if you enjoyed this, drop a like, subscribe. This isn't the last one we're gonna do. Obviously, follow us on our socials.
Yeah, we're quitting after the first episode.
I feel like Twitter and Twitch are the only two things we really use like consistently. I'd put our Instagram down there.
My YouTube too, but I have that linked in my Twitch, so
yeah, got nothing to worry about there.
Both channels linked on my Twitch.
She makes some really fucking awesome stuff on her channel. She does she makes a lot of music. She covers music, all that good stuff. So seriously, go check her out. I'm sure there's something there that you'll be able to add to your playlist, your music playlist.
No!
And with that, I suppose I shall say farewell. Anything else? Any closing remarks?
I'm just gonna make this a small little rant. If you don't want Fire Emblem to continue as a series simply because of Smash, you're a douche. That's all I'll say. Because look at this shit. Look at this shit.
And that's what we'll leave it out on. So thank y'all for watching, and we will be back with another one in probably around a month's time. So see you later.
Bye-bye.